It's funny how a few years ago, the Atlanta Falcons needed a starting running back. It's, we were playing power run with a little bit of zone here and there. It's funny how things come full circle and you have two amazing running backs in Coleman and Freeman. And then I get the news today that the Falcons are working out Nick Chubb. Privately working him out. Bringing him in. And so I started watching some tape. Because I was watching tape on defensive tackles. I was watching tape on corners and safeties and linebackers and defensive ends, defensive tackles. But then I started seeing plays like this where Chubb would run through people. Now, I'm not going to argue semantics. I'm not going to say, should we trade Coleman or Freeman or, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into Nick Chubb and whether or not he should start for the Falcons if, he's a Georgia boy. I don't want Georgia fans coming at me and barking at me and saying, oh, Nick Chubb, if we had him, we'd be an all-perennial team. But I do want to state that Nick Chubb on plays like this can burn you. I want to talk about how Nick Chubb, what he could do for Atlanta, not what he would take away from other players. Let's go back and look at this play really quick again. This is by no means is a good defense. There's some key guys on this team that were good, but as a whole, this defense was not good. That's why they lost this game. But if you look at this play, you see a linebacker out of position. Nick Chubb realizes that. He had two options. Both A-gaps to jump through. He takes the A-gap. All he has to do is split a linebacker and he's gone. He's not an all-perennial running back. He'll be had in the second or third round. Somebody will pick him up. But what he reminds me of, and especially on this play right here, is Michael Turner. He truly does remind me of the guy that if you arm tackle him, he's going to smash through you. He's going to bowling ball his way through tough yards. He's going to push his way and beat you with a little bit of surprise agility. And I like that. I like that about Nick Chubb. I think he's a hard-nosed runner. I think guys that aren't going to hit him with everything they got are going to be surprised by how tough and resilient he is. What he could bring to the Atlanta Falcons, since I'm not arguing between trading Tevin Coleman and Freeman and money and all that nonsense, I'm just giving you the facts, is that Nick Chubb has things to work on, but what he could bring you is tough third down running. Like on this play here. You obviously see that this is meant to be Nick Chubb selling that he's going to get the ball. There's a read at the line. The quarterback sees an opening where he wants to throw the ball, but Nick Chubb needs to realize. Right here, he looks back and goes, oh no, I'm about to get my quarterback killed. These are some of the things that Nick Chubb needs to work on, but that's nitpicking. I think when you give the ball to Nick Chubb, you get a great runner or you get bottled up at the line. I heard more of 31's name, Oscar from Oklahoma, in this game than I heard Nick Chubb's name, because Oscar was all over his rice. But you get tough running, and parts of his tough running gives him big chunks of yards, or 2 or 3. He averaged about 12 or 11 carries a game, and sometimes he'd have 150 yards, and other times he'd have games like this. Now, this is late in the game, obviously, but my point is that, is he going to be every down back in the league? I don't know. But it doesn't look like it from the tape anyway. But you can get plenty of great plays out of him. Again, I don't want to argue semantics of who's better, Nick Chubb or Freeman or Coleman. That's baloney. But what I will say is that Nick Chubb brings you something. He brings you power running game that we don't have. I'd say probably the best power runner on this team is Devontae Freeman. And then everything else kind of slides from there. I remember telling everyone that Freeman's the better inside runner versus Coleman, who's the better outside runner. Both very talented at catching the ball, and both can be asked to do the other's running style with limited success in some cases. So again, it surprised me when I saw that Nick Chubb got a workout from the Atlanta Falcons. But I will say that adding someone like Nick Chubb to this team would give us a different dynamic, a more run-oriented one, because he needs to work on his pass catching and blocking, but a positive one nonetheless. Is that what Steve Sarkisian needs? I'm not sure. But I want to state that it would be a positive add nonetheless. And again, it's funny how things come full circle. When you're not really looking for a running back, but you gain Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. Here we are a couple years later, and we're looking at another very talented running back and a possible, just possible, slight possibility that he could be the replacement for one of our two guys on this team. My name's Lieutenant Dan. This was a Falcons film breakdown for the 2018 NFL Draft. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit the like button on my video. Please share it to all your friends and fam. Please go into the comments section and tell me what you think about Nick Chubb and what he could do for Atlanta. I just wanted to start the conversation. Peace, hair grease, only the facts, be the media. Rise up.